One of the things I liked most when I was a child was that crossovers, but my basing on two series that I watched and they fascinated me quite a bit. Two examples can be Jimmy Neutron with the Fiery Parents and the Green Adventures of Billy and Mandy with Kids Next Door. In these two cases, they show us how they exist within the same universe and give us several reasons why I thanks to this a conflict is generated and resolved in another way or another. In general, I really like stories that mix two universes of series. So today I come to start a series about the possibility of games series of the movies coexistent with the same space. So today I start Interconnect Universe. In the LoL universe, as I talked about in my previous video, we know that today there are 116 champions. So the similarity between some of them with the Valorant shoutouts are almost obvious. So let's make clear 3 points that could help us unite these two great universes, which we know as Earth Alpha in Valorant and Runeterra in LoL. And we say three because there are the ones that I have in mind, but as I make the video, I may find and add more possibilities. The similarity in skills or aspects within the two games. This is example to see is Neon with Seri. If anyone shows them these two characters in one image, you will think that they are sisters, but as we will know, they are from games and in this case from different universes. So in turn we will confirm that each one exists in a different reality. We can see the similarity between the two of them in their abilities, since each one use electricity and also in their physical appearance. But of them like speed, in Seri's case, the ulti's movement speed is increased every time it hits targets infinitely, and in the case of Neon, both the ulti and his E allow him to run at a higher speed. The two have a color that determines them for the most part, which are Seri Green and Neon Blue. In short, they are the same characters but in alternative universe. We can also see the skills or attitudes of characters that are very similar to six skills, which have to do with explosives. E throws a small bomb that divides into several bombs that explode. The W allows him to launch enemies and himself into the air. And the ultimate is a super explosion at a fixed point. Which Valorant character do you sound like that has similar abilities and that fascinates by explosives? That's right, Raze has a color palette very similar to Six, not to mention his fanaticism in Explosion, and his frenetic personality. I could verify that they could be the same character, but as I said before, in different universes. The last one but not less, I think I can say that Jin and Chamber have a certain similarity. They both have a long range weapon that deals a lot of damage and slows down. They both like the etiquette when it comes to clouding. They have a gun that has a special type of passive. In the case of Chamber, the Sheriff has a scope that the normal purchase ones do know. Have a Jin has a different scaling of that gun. Plus the fact of having 4 bullets will be something very similar to a Sheriff because they have a limited numbers of bullets before generating an mandatory recharge. 2. Alternative universe. At this point, we are going to base ourselves directly on the story of Valorant, since in this story they talk about the fact that there are quite a few multiverses and that each one there is a type of energy that is known in Valorant, like Radianita, but taking into account that is it an unstable material that when combined with certain energy produce both physical and elemental change. We can see that this type of energy and material we can be what we know like hashtag signs with this type of energy things like big gauntlets, Jace Hammer, Seraphim Music, and other examples especially seen in Piltover Sound. We can assume that what they call hashtag is the same Radionit in Runeterra. Character cameos in alternate worlds. At this point, more than a conspiracy, it is something that is really evident, and that is that in some maps there are lore characters, as foot shot as the Scurries in Split or the Dimension Tanken shown on bench in Ascent. If we take into account that these characters exist either because of a thief of fur, one unbranded on a share, we can understand that they exist in that universe. So at some point, they have some type of relevance in the world, and just as in the past points there were similarities, in this case it's direct and direct existence. The similar skins. Taking into account that there are characters and aesthetic similarities between them, we can conclude that the skins of both games can be connected in one way or another. The three packs of skins that most resemble this idea on those of Star Guardian, since in the case of LoL there are characters' outfits, while in Valorant there are skins of the weapons themselves. The fact that the Runic King's word appears in Valorant, it can be a reference to the fact that there was a king or some thief or a story that resulted in the creation of such a sword. And having a relationship with this previous one, we have the last pack, which is the Sentinels of Light, which will be the counterpart of the Sword of the Runic King. So if we take into account the lore characters we were Sentinels chosen in their perspective event, we can have a clear idea that each Valorant weapon could reference some lore characters, since they share color and animations. Especially the death on in Valorant when if destroy the darkness of the Renekid skins. It's a most example specific. Similar experiments and runs in some cases. For this small and final section, I want to make clear that my imagination was run out. So this part may be a lot of conspirational. But taking into account that the entire video can be taken as such, here I left you with this bit theory. And in both Valorant and LoL, several experiments are witnessed. In LoL, experiments are evident in some, the protagonist being synced, creating Warwick and Orianna through not very human methods. In Noxus, it is shown like Rel. Since she was a child, they experiment with her to create the weapon that she is in the video game. On the other hand, Viper in Valorant is responsible for generating various experiments using Ryanite, and in some cases experiment with humans, like what happened with Omen, and how because of Herges is a demonic enter that does not remember anything about his past and only seeks a cure for what happened to him. The logic that these experiments are so similar is that in the two cases there were generated by a type of energy mixing vanity with the technology in Valorant and Shimmel with Hashtain in the case of LoL, to create that is now a sentence that will be familiar to you because it's the Urgot energy source in his legs and which Dr. Mundo and Zack were born. I think it is worth clarifying before to finish the video that the previous information mentioned in each of the games is taken directly from the respective cinematics and official page. In terms of individual lore and likewise, I hope that this recently started series is to your liking. If you want to give me any ideas for your future videos in this series or talk about something in the general, you can leave me in the comments and I review this daily. As always, I hope that you like the video and see you in the next universe.